The following program is produced by the Tech Talk Radio Network.
All right, people, break out your notebooks and pencils and slide rules. You're listening to Tech Talk Radio with true geeks. And by the way, I'm Dee Snyder, and I'm a geek too.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
And I am Slick.
And it is good to see you. It's like old times, buddy.
Yeah, I've been away. I've been busy. I've been trying to solve the world's problems. I've been trying to make a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I just thought about that. Just before we sat down, he's like, I need a cup of coffee. I'm like, is it brewing at least?
It should be. You know, I finally got me one of those cheapo, the pod thing. What is it?
The Keurig.
The Keurig. Finally got one of those. But it's the cheapy one, though. I have to fill up the thing with a cup of water every time.
Right. Every time?
Every time. It doesn't have the canister in the back that holds 4 or 6, whatever version. No, this is every time.
Oh man, we've got one at the Super Sale bin store, and we've talked about them before. I don't know if you've been yet, but we got one for $15 that had the big reservoir in the back and the whole bit, and brought it home. And then Gloria took it to work, so it's used there because they didn't have one. And then, wouldn't you know, the big Keurig we had that had a pot with it, so you could make a pot of coffee, and then you had the K-Cup, so you could make the K-Cup version. It had the big reservoir. It died. It finally just died. It was making a weird sound like a jet engine. So we went to good old Wally World and bought one for $55, but at least it'll hold enough water for three K-Cups. It's
okay.
But if you have to replace it every time.
Yeah, well, one day I'll graduate up to something else. I did invest in that little basket that goes in where you can put in coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I got one of those.
Oh, that's good then. That's good. You got to make your own. Because that's
I'm getting there a little step at a time.
That's why we used to like doing the show years ago. Those may remember that we did the actually show from Roadrunner Coffee. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, waitress. Those were the days, man.
Those were the days. Yes, Slick on coffee is always great.
Are you still going to the bin store that you've been talking about?
Hey, it's been a little while. The last time I went there, I ended up buying a microphone, the Fine microphone that I showed on TV, the RGB one.
How is that mic? Have you used it? What's the sound quality?
I'll tell you. We got the Logitech Orb, which I like. Logitech makes great products. And then we got the Fine, and I put them next to each other. Now, the Fine microphone connects. There's a USB-C connector on the bottom of it, connects via USB-A, and it's RGB. So it gets its power and does RGB. So if you're on Twitch or if you're doing an Instagram reel, it's going to look good. And I thought, well, let's compare both of them and see the sound quality. Now, remind you, the Logitech Orb is right around $100, $100, $120 microphone. It's small, round cube. It's very nice. And then the Fine runs about $55. They sounded almost the same.
That's what scared me. I was afraid that would be the judgment.
They sounded almost the same to the point where if I was using the Fine, I would be fine with using that in a podcast situation or... I obviously wouldn't do it for, professional radio or professional commercial production, but for a Zoom, it would be great. It would it would work.
Heaven forbid your peers see you using a $55 microphone.
Well, I thought it was funny. So when I worked for a big organization called Westwood One, and I was doing radio broadcasts across the country. I would leave here, the radio station, KGVY in the morning. I would go home. And then I would record for stations in Pittsburgh, and I would do stations in one. I really love this station in Florida. Johnny O and his station WAMP FM. I would do that, and I had about, from what I understand, I think it was like 70, maybe 75 stations that I would do, and I would just do it right here in the studio that I'm in right now. And the thing is, they sent me an SM58 when we were doing it from home. Because I would go into the radio station that's part of that organization, and I would do it there. And they had the RE20s or RE27s microphones, which are pretty good. But they sent me an SM58, and I thought, this is like the workhorse microphone that you'll see mobile DJs use, you'll see public address use, not really for broadcasting. So I ended up hooking up my SM7B, and I used that, and it worked out good. But yeah, I mean, the Fifine microphone, and again, I saw 2 or 3 of those over at the Super Sale bin store. They worked pretty good. I found a lot of stuff there, Slick. I have found microphone arms. I have found ring lights.
You mean the ones for the table? You bolt them to the table, and okay.
Yeah, you get a little clamp, C-clamp. You go ahead and clamp it right to the table. I found ring lights. You know, not the big Lowell ring lights that I have, but I mean, I have all kinds of stuff. Tablets. The tablet was kind of slow, but I gave it to my grandkid. So, go ahead and have fun with it. Break another one. It's like, yeah.
When you say ring light, that's the one that I've seen people, what do I want to call them? They're doing the lifestyle thing with the phone all the time. They're always on the phone.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm showing
he's got one. He's got, it's a circle light, everyone. And he puts there's a stand in the middle of it. That's where he puts his phone.
Yeah. And I mean, it puts out pretty good light, and it just gives you an overall fill type of light situation, which looks good. Logitech has a light that I absolutely love. That's on a stand, and instead of it being a ring, it's a bar, and it's a fluorescent bar light, and it looks really good, and it gives you a good fill from either side, whereas the ring is kind of centered, and you get that ring look on the eyeballs. If you've ever watched somebody, a creator that does videos, so it's okay.
I'm afraid to ask, what are you using your ring light for, Andy?
You know what? I've used it twice for videos, for conference call videos.
Oh, conference calls. Yeah, just asking. Just wondering. Because,
that I use the phone
for different things. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't have an OnlyFans, all right? So, no.
You know what? As crazy as this sounds, I know how this goes out, but I'm thinking about getting one just because of the web address. just because of the URL, the Universal Resource Locator.
It would belong to you. Everybody gets, it's funny because we used to recommend that back when, the web was really beginning. I mean, back when we were in Palm Springs doing the show, and even, the early days with you, Slick, we would talk about domains, and we would say, grab them. Get every domain you can. But the cost of domains has gone up. So you're going to find that, but remember the companies like GoDaddy, HostGator, some of the companies out there that sell domains, they'll sell you a domain, but they're going to try and get it to you for 5 years. Yeah. You can purchase a year and go year to year.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah. And I have done this before where I have watched a television show like King of Queens, where they mentioned a web domain. I went online and looked, and nobody owned the domain. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that's free advertising. And of course I bought the domain. I owned it for a little while, and then I thought, this is stupid. I got rid of it.
Yeah, you didn't make a profit on that one. Yeah.
I remember not long ago there was Ann Wilson for president. Now, for those of you who know who Ann Wilson is, she is a member of the group Heart. And back in the last election, she had put out shirts. Somebody had put out shirts, Ann Wilson for president, with her photo on that. So I went and looked, and sure enough, AnnWilsonForPresident.com was totally available. And so I bought it. But me being Mr. Nice Guy, I ended up pointing it to her official domain. I don't think it's pointing anymore, but I still own the domain. But
you didn't get any credit for it, because I did the same thing kind of similarly with some social media accounts. Gretchen Wilson, who hangs out with Big and Rich and a member of that Music Mafia.
Yeah,
she started her own label, and I'm trying to remember what it is, and because I still might have those
her own record label, right?
Yeah, her own record label. So I grabbed for the Twitter at the time, Twitter and Facebook and others. I grabbed the name on those services for her, and I was holding it because I wanted to get it to her, but I never did get it to her, and I think her label folded anyway.
Yeah.
But I wanted to grab, and it's really because I have a thing for Gretchen Wilson. I do.
The truth comes out. You were hoping this would be the gateway to meet her, to offer up the domain. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually bumped into Big and Rich once when they came to Tucson here, and I told I told Kenny, I said, you got to introduce me to Gresham. Just
Well,
a
yeah,
little
Kenny could have done it. Yeah. Yes. Never happened.
No, it didn't happen.
Oh, man, what a shame. But
Hey,
that's
go
the
ahead.
thing, though. It makes you wonder. Okay, so we have all the gamut of domains for Tech Talk Radio, of course. When we purchased the domain over 10 years ago, it was in Palm Springs. There was a gentleman that had techtalk.com, and nice guy. And matter of fact, we kind of went back and forth, and I believe he still may even own that domain. Not sure. But then when we decided, okay, well, let's go in the radio direction for it, we went ahead and did that. But of course, we had to get all of them. We got biz, gov,
Oh, yeah.
.org. Well, we didn't get gov. We got .org. We got, .net, the whole bit. And we've been playing. And it's nice because when you buy a website, generally, or when you get your hosting, at least we used to be with GoDaddy. We were with Interland before that. And then we're with a different domain company now. You can buy a plan that will allow you to put subdomains in there. So what that means is, say, like even somebody that listening here in Green Valley, Green Valley Bingo Club. So you have Green Valley Bingo Club, and then you have, Bingo Winners as a subdomain, or the Green Valley BG or BC. So again, you can have different variations of that domain name to all point to a domain or even a different website for that organization or that club. And the thing is that all goes into one hosting plan. And depending on the plan you get, generally they're going to cost you about $300, $400, $500 a year, depending on which company you're with, what services you have with that. You have backup services, the whole bit. We used to recommend that. We'd say, get all the domains you can. Why not? But now things are different. People are not buying websites. You can even go to websites and, you go to these companies and say, yeah, but the website's not that important to us. What's important is social media.
I guess. I mean, I like social media, but sometimes it just, and I tried to, you're the one that got me really into it, because this was back in the days of MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
I was on a radio station, and the listener called and said, "What's your MySpace?" And I said, "I don't have one."
Yeah.
You don't have one? You got to get a MySpace. I got the MySpace. As we move forward in time, Andy, I told this story before. Andy tells me, "Oh, you got to get on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. All of our peers are on Facebook. You got to." All right, Andy. So I get on Facebook,
right,
and he was right.
Yeah,
he was right.
Well, I don't
for
think
networking purposes.
I don't think we had an idea that MySpace was going to meld into Facebook, and Facebook was going to be the big daddy of it all. It seemed like MySpace had it all, but then when you looked at how many connections you were making on Facebook, and there are people who have been on Facebook that have left Facebook and said, "I'm never going back on there again." There are problems still with Facebook. No matter how you look at it, you may report a fake account, you may report content that you should not be on there, and you're going to get nothing from the company. They're just not going to do anything.
I don't know if this has happened to you, but to me and other of our radio brethren, we were locked out of our accounts because they didn't like the names we were using.
Yeah. Oh, you're not using your real name. Yes, it's like, how can you be called Slick?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not using my birth name. I'm using my nickname, because my nickname is what everybody calls me.
Yeah, and that was a big problem for a lot of people in radio. And some celebrities were able to get around that with, their agents getting the accounts, like on LinkedIn even, because you're supposed to use your 100% real name. And a lot of people in radio, I know a lot of people, they don't use a real name. I mean, I went to broadcasting school with a guy whose last name was Kallisvart. He changed it to Michaels.
Oh, that makes sense.
But I mean, that's exactly the whole. And then people couldn't get verified. There's so many things to go through to try and get that. And no matter what X does, or Twitter, or Facebook, and then you've got other social media now. And it's funny. You look at the ages of people on Facebook. It is rare. I'm not going to say rare, but you don't see as many of the under 20-year-olds on Facebook as we saw maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They're all on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and some of the other services that are out there.
And I kind of get that. I mean, there was a time, and it was years ago even, when the reports were coming in that, Facebook is for old people. Okay, I get it because we were on there and we were sticking with it. I get it.
There was even a book. Do you remember that we had the authors on Facebook for seniors?
Yeah, yeah. And then, so eventually I did get because of the Twitter. I got on Twitter because for the shortness of it.
Right.
I felt like I could just send out some short messages. Instagram, I finally got on. Now, here's where you and I have diverged in the past and probably still currently. So Snapchat, I don't see the need or want I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get Snapchat.
Yeah, it's really interesting how Snapchat works, and there are a lot of people that are actually now getting a little older now. They're in their 20s to 30s, even early 40s that are getting on Snapchat, and then they will follow and they will, follow content. So again, does that translate? So the whole purpose is, so you got a website or you've got a product, you've got a service. Is that link creating content or creating a flow of business for you, the client? Or are you just having fun? I mean, you saw the ad this past week, which actually kind of surprised me. I didn't know they were going to do this. If you remember last week on the show, we were graced with Allison Gaxiola, who is the new manager for the upcoming opening for Curacao. And they're going to be opening at the Tucson Mall.
Right.
And her people, the PR people, there's a company they have. Obviously, it's not done out of the local store. They're the ones I reached out to, and I wanted to talk about the grand opening. They had sent me the photo of Allison, and I took the text and I put it on the photo, and I use it, and I explained to them. I said, on every interview we do on our website, or the radio show, we like to have a picture of that person we're talking to. It's more personal. Whether it's Bill Gates, you put a photo of him up there, or Allison, put a photo of her. So they were happy that they did that. Wouldn't you know, the next day I started seeing ads using that link, and it wasn't linking to the audio only. It linked right to our website, to Tech Talk Radio. And they said, listen to the discussion with Allison and I'm still seeing it. I've seen it on Reels. I've seen it on Snapchat. I've seen it on Facebook, and I like that because that shows they have a service or a product, their new store. They want to get the word out about it. So they're sharing with people, hey, come to listen to Tech Talk Radio. You'll hear this interview, and hopefully it'll get us some people who will listen to the show on a regular basis.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok?
Yes, I am. And
I am not. I'm not.
It's funny because we've talked about the problems with TikTok and the information that's being shared. And I will not be on it for a while, and then I've got it on my device. Some people say you shouldn't even have it in your device, and I'll open it up, and my cousin, actually no, she's my niece. She's on it quite a bit. And I like watching some of her videos that she posts, and my daughters are on it. So I can like things, and once in a while I'll post something on there. But there are some people that say they will not get on TikTok for that same reason. I won't shop at Temu. Maybe that's the next step.
Oh man!
But I don't mind TikTok as much.
Yeah, I even tried to do. I guess a lot of things I do offline and then try to make them available online. So there was a time, and it's still kind of technically the case. I don't have a cell phone service. I don't pay for it, and I lost my Lifeline service, which was the free one that if you're poor like me, you can get that service. Well, that went away. So then I wasn't online until I had access to Wi-Fi. So there was something interesting. I can't remember. I wish I could remember what it was so I could tell you, everybody. But I wanted to take a video. I wanted to record a video and share it with everyone because it was kind of interesting. Not necessarily funny, but you'd be like, really?
Really?
One of those videos. And through the apps on my devices, I could not, while offline, record a video. I tried Instagram. I tried Facebook. I would have to use the camera function of the device,
right?
Record the video, and then upload it. I was under the impression these apps and services had set it up so you could just right through their interface record the video.
Yeah, you would think.
But, yeah.
But it didn't let you record it on the device and then upload it.
Right. That's the only way I was able to get it done.
Oh, wow.
And it really disappointed me
Well, I will
because it
tell
takes
you.
away the instantaneousness.
I will tell you about something I just checked out last week. I gave it a test, and if you've seen our video with Sean and I talking in that segment from last week, I was pretty impressed with it. Now, I'm trying to justify the cost, and I don't know if I have yet, but here's what it is. It's called Opus Clips, and it's OPUSCLIPS. And here's what you could do. And when we look at this day and age of social media and sharing video content, because honestly, a podcast is important, but video content rules. You'll probably get more views of video content on social media. You'll get a good following of podcast people that listen to podcasts like they do listen to this one. But the video is pretty amazing. Here's what it does. So say right now we're doing a Zoom chat. We could be doing a Skype chat, or we could be doing, a Wirecast, bringing you in that way chat, right? And you take that video after it's done and you upload it to Opus Clips. Opus Clips goes through it, and it takes about maybe, I want to say 15 minutes. And it will take an hour of us discussing, and it will then transcribe and give you clips based on the discussions you were having. So last week, Sean and I were talking about the audio that they found from the 80s of talking about technology and computers and the internet, kind of like what we do, but this is in the 80s. Interviews with Bill Gates and other trendsetters, Timothy Leary in the tech world. But we talked about it, and it took that and it turned it into a 1-minute clip of our discussion. And what it does is it takes it to the right ratio. The ratio that you're shooting, like we're shooting it right now, is generally 1920 by 1280. You could do 720 by 480, but the ratio for TikTok videos, Instagram Reel videos, Facebook stories, YouTube stories or shorts is a different ratio. It looks like you're looking at a smartphone. And it puts it in that correct ratio. But say I move out of the frame, it uses AI to move the shot. So it follows me as I'm moving.
It crops the shot.
It crops it and moves with it. And it uses AI to create the translation, AI to create the clip. The service itself is free. You can create for the first time just by using it, free again. And then you can download the clips. If you get the actual service, which is $175 a year, all right, you can then auto share. So you can auto share. So you create one sequence and say, I like this one. It can auto share then to Instagram Reels, TikTok, Snapchat, to YouTube Shorts, which is that's where a lot of people are going to now for some of these short videos is YouTube. But it can do that all in one move. And not bad. Now, there's a plan that's $15 a month, or you could do the annual, which is a better savings because you get more storage, more features of that. And Opus Clips, they're just one of the companies. Now, when they first started out about a year ago, I think, the reviews weren't that great. They weren't like 100%. But it seems like people are absolutely using it a lot more and liking it. And I was pretty impressed. We'll do that probably with this one.
I was thinking, so you're out of a job, huh?
Yeah. Really? Well, Slick, we've seen it. We have friends that are web developers, that it changed. A lot of it changed. They would create websites. Now they would create websites in HTML. They have to learn WordPress. They had to learn Joomla. They had to learn some of these other languages that were out there for websites. They aren't all HTML. We're still running an HTML website. We have a WordPress version. We just haven't officially decided to go all in on it because the SEO on our site has been real good. So again, those are the things that you have to think about. But it is putting creators, people who would edit that by themselves out of work. But it does it in record time.
Yeah, especially now. I've heard some of the AI replacements for us, so to speak.
Oh yeah,
trying to create content and deliver it like we would when we're on the air, and is it off?
Yeah, there's a company called Odyssey, and that's AUDACY. I believe they were one of the first that said we're gonna do this. That did that with a DJ playing music that's not even there. It's a AI created voice but a lot of people said that they could hear that it wasn't a real person.
Yeah. Because it's just like, what? Something's not right. This is it. You just feel it. You know it.
As Sean would say, the uncanny valley. I've seen ads on LinkedIn that I can tell. You can tell if you look at them. It's AI. It's the mouth. The face looks really good. The mouth is moving. It's matching the words, but there's just something about it that might be off. Because you're probably watching AI.
Yeah, that's a social media site that I really did impress me. I mean, I see the value in it. I jumped on that one right away. It was LinkedIn.
Yeah,
because that's like throwing your resume out there and then really networking with professional people.
But with every website and every bit or every social media services out there, you do have to be careful still, especially in LinkedIn. There's a lot of scamming that goes on in LinkedIn. Because you think you're sending your resume for a job, you might not be, and you're sending a lot of your info. Same goes with Facebook scams. The bump scam, I think, is the most ridiculous thing in the world. I don't know if you've encountered the bump scam. We've talked about that before, where people put up an ad, say this person's missing, and everybody shares it, and they tell you, please share, and then once you've shared it so many times, it then gets replaced with an ad for real estate. They get paid based on that ad, or they'll use it to actually rip people off. So,
wow!
But it means you have to do a little research.
I have a confession. Since you brought that up, it just reminded me. So I do some stuff for the governments, I should say.
A government.
Yeah. So I have government access to an account, and usually when they're doing the IT department's doing their phishing tests, or even if a real phishing comes through.
Oh, don't you love those tests? Yes.
I catch them in my personal accounts like Gmail and Yahoo and all that stuff. And I generally catch them in my government accounts. I'm like, this is stupid. This is it. But people click on them. Well, within this week one came through.
Right.
And it had my chief of staff's name in it.
Really?
Yeah. And just the way it came through, I just was like, okay, let me open it up, opening up was not the bad part about it. The bad part about it was, because this has happened in the office.
Right.
Usually I don't share anything funny or personal in my government account at all. I'll send it from my personal account. But we've gotten kind of a little loose at this office, right?
Great.
And so I wish I could say what it was because I don't remember what it was, but I'm like, all right, let me click on it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was 0 for like 5, and now I got a mark.
Oh man. It's important though that everybody knows. I see it on Nextdoor. I'm on the Nextdoor service. I see where people say, I got this thing, I clicked on it, and people need to know, do not click on things, whether it be from text or email. If you get an email from, you bank at Wells Fargo, you get an email from Wells Fargo. If you have to, go to the branch or call the number that is on the back of your debit card.
Yeah.
Give that extra layer of caution. Never click something from the United States Postal Service. They want to deliver a package to you. That's another big scam. You need to be really, really, really careful about that because, again, that's the stuff that can financially hurt you. And, again, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, and everyone, I claim to be really good at this. I mean, I really was because, let me explain it.
Right.
Whenever I get an email in, I have my systems, my email services all set up. So you see, hey, it's an email from Slick, right?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I see it's an email from Slick, and I see the email address.
Right.
And I wasn't paying attention. Had I looked at the email address, I would have known right off. That it wasn't, Plus, also, I take that extra step of I have all my images turned off.
Right.
People send me stuff all the time. Say, did you see it? No, I didn't see it. Why didn't you put something in there in the text that explain to me what it is? I get newsletters, and even my office will send out a newsletter, and it's all graphics. It's nice. People love it. It's a great newsletter. It really is. But when it comes to me, if they're, what is it? Is it alt text? Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
Andy? Where
yeah.
you put the text for the picture that describes what the picture is?
Yes.
There'll be a lot of pictures, a lot of graphics, a lot of images, a lot of posters, a lot of flyers that I'll never see because I have images turned off, and they didn't think to send me the text as well as that graphic, that image, that picture.
Yeah. Not everybody is going to look at images, pictures. They're not going to open documents. And you should not open PDFs. Again, no matter who it's from, even if it says it's from your sister or your brother, think about it before you click. Really need to be careful about that. It was a lot different when we just send, mail through the postal service. Email, it's faster, and there are more victims that can be out there. So you got to be really careful about that. We got to take a quick break. You'll never believe the technology that is coming to your home. And it might be technology you just do not want to have in your home.
Okay.
I will tell you about that coming up. I'm Andy Taylor.
And I'm Slick.
You can find us on the World Wide Web at TechtalkRadio.com. We'll be right back.
Now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
We like new technology out of Slick. You like the new stuff?
When I can afford it, always.
Yeah. Well, here's something brand new that you could have for your home, and people are saying, but why? Mm-hmm. Why would you want to have this in your home? It's a technology that people have talked about for years, maybe even joked about. Okay. It could be yours for an introductory price for this month. For $149.99. Are you ready?
Okay. What is it?
Smell-O-Vision. Smell-O-Vision is finally here.
No, they did.
Yes, they did. Users could watch a romantic beach scene and can now smell the ocean and taste the salt in the air, courtesy of the devices available from Movie Scent. They say you'll have a deeper emotional connection to their favorite content, compatible with every movie and game ever made, as well as a wide range of devices, including all TVs, PCs, mobile phones, tablets, gaming systems, and virtual reality headsets.
Andy, you don't know where my mind just went to, and you should not be surprised. So I'm in the theater.
Yeah, you're in the theater. Yeah.
I got one of my favorite movies up, running it.
Yep.
Blazing Saddles.
Oh, yeah. Blazing Saddles around the campfire.
There you go.
More beans, Mr. Taggart? Oh, boy. Moviescent.com could take on a whole new meeting. It'll start shipping this month for $179.99. You could go to Moviescent.com and Amazon.com. That's a pretty expensive gag gift. If you're getting it as a gag gift for somebody, I can see you right now. Somebody listening to the radio right now is jumping onto the World Wide Web saying, I got to have this. They're saying that it will be available at all major retailers in the fall. I can't see Walmart carrying this. Moviescent.com.
They'll sell if somebody's going to buy it, they'll sell it.
Yeah. It's just, I'm thinking there should be some sense. Like the trash compactor scene in Star Wars. That should not be available.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to smell trash. I don't want to smell that. I mean, I can imagine like from all the Fast and Furious movies, it'll be the smell of burning rubber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Goodfellas with the smell of cheap alcohol and cigar smoke, in the casino scenes. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Are you thinking?
No, I was trying to think of some other sensory things that could be done. I mean, we've had. You remember when we did the movie Earthquake? We put those little shakers in the theater.
Yeah, they called that surround sound, which is still around, or sense around.
Yeah,
I remember the first time I had experienced that was Midway, the World War II movie, the original Midway. Not the most recent one. There was one that came out with, it had, it had a huge cast. Robert Mitchum, Burt Lancaster. It had a huge cast. Eric Estrada, one of his first movies. And I remember my dad really wanted to see it. And it was one of the movies he took me to the theater to go see. And we're in the lobby, and it was a, single screen theater. and that the first bomb went off in the film, the whole theater shook, and I had no idea what was going on. And my dad grew up in London during World War II, and so he went through the bombings, the raids in London, and experienced it, and said that it pretty much almost caused him to drop everything, the popcorn and the soda, the whole bit. It was that realistic. They did a good job on that.
I think the first one, I don't know if you remember this, because there's not many people who do. I think one of the first sensory, how do we want to put this, sensory featured movies,
right,
in the theater. It was a black and white one, if anybody remembers. And there was I'm trying to think of the name of the guy. He did Michael Jackson's Thriller.
John Landis?
No, The Voice.
Oh, The Voice. Vincent Price.
Thank you. It was a Vincent Price movie.
Right.
And I remember this. It was called, I'm surprised you don't know this, The Tingler.
The Tingler?
Remember The Tingler?
No.
What was a black and white movie, because I'd heard stories of this. This was like the first sensory movie, sensory featured movie. It's basically, let's say it's a spine that comes alive, right? And it's crawling around, right?
A spine?
A spine, basically.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
Yeah. So it goes dark in the movie, and the theater also goes dark. But then what happens is, I don't know if it was some wires or string or whatever it was, because Vincent Price is saying, hey, be careful. This thing is coming around. It could get you. And don't let it grab you, because it was always grabbing somebody by the back of the neck.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And this thing came up and touched people at the back of the neck. It could have been a little slight electric shark. Could have been a string. I don't know what it was. But
right.
They did that in the theater.
Oh, my gosh. The Tingler.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look for this one. Now, there was a movie, and I want to say it was, I think it might have, was it Top Secret? Do you remember the silly comedy movies? You had like Naked Gun, Top Secret, by the guys that do those, and they were making fun of that sensory experience in the theaters, and they had like somebody behind rubbing the shoulders of somebody. There's a scene in the movie where somebody's getting his shoulders rubbed, so they'd have somebody back there doing that. And it was really a silly sequence, but I can't remember what movie it was. But yeah, they kind of made fun of that. House of Wax was one of the first 3D movies, and I always thought this was funny. Here's a little fact for you, Slick, in case this ever comes up. Why did the director, Andre Detoth, not be able to see the movie House of Wax in 3D?
Don't know. I don't know.
He's thinking. He was blind in one eye. And yeah, he could not experience the 3D effect for the original House of Wax. And something I learned in my days working at Movieland Wax Museum. But there you go, smell-o-vision. If having a big screen isn't enough, now you can have the smells that could be associated with the movie.
I just looked it up in the Tingler I was mentioning. It's called Percepto, and they did use like a little electric current.
They actually
little
shocked
buzzers.
you? Did they stop when somebody died?
Here's the line. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not panic, but scream. Scream for your lives. And that was a part of the movie. If you scream, then this thing would go away.
Right.
The Tingler is loose in this theater.
The Tingler, great. So you would think something with it. I know that the most recent Abyss movie that James Cameron put out, and I guess he's going to do another one. They did something similar with the smell of the sea air and fans that would blow, like in certain scenes, up on people's legs to give them more of an experience. Because James Cameron's always been one of those that, well, not Abyss. It's not Abyss. It's the other one I'm thinking of. What is the other one with the world where the people were dressed up, all characters, and Sigourney Weaver was in it.
Recently?
Yeah. What is that?
I think I know which movie you're talking about. Was they had like a drive-in city kind of thing?
I didn't even see it. Yeah. I didn't even see it. What is a movie?
I don't know.
One of our listeners, maybe the listener can help us. Go ahead and send us a note, and we'll figure out what the movie is. But yeah, I'm blown. But that's what he was doing, trying to bring that experience in for the theaters, because something that the homes, I guess, couldn't offer.
Hey, gang, we can't watch them all. We're not Siskel and Ebert, okay?
It's going to be bugging me now. What is the name of that movie? So somebody drop us a note, techguys@techtalkradio.com, or hit us up on Facebook. Let us know, what is that movie that James Cameron put out a sequel to? He's going to have another one as well. And
somebody else is sitting back going, who's Siskel and Ebert?
Hey, we're not that old. So now you watch the segments on Fox 11, right?
I do. Yes,
Right.
I do.
The guy that I do the show with, Andrew moved to San Antonio and is doing TV out there. Tyler Butler is the guy that I do the segments with now. Very cool guy. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Tyler is a big flight sim guy.
No.
He's also very much into the world of trains. And if you get on out to the Gadsden Pacific Museum, where they have a model train set up, and on Sundays you can get on out there. We've talked about it here on the station. Well, they now have a new game that's coming out September 17th called Train Sim World 5.
Okay.
All right. And it's available for pre-order on PlayStation, Xbox, PC platforms, and it has new routes you could take across the UK, Germany, and USA, right? And I thought to myself, a train sim, how good is it going to look? It is absolutely amazing. The graphics on it are just phenomenal. TrainSimWorld.com. They actually have a trailer out for this. And I don't know, Slick, if you want to pull that up while we're talking here. TrainSimWorld.com. They're getting the games to look ultra realistic, and I was telling Tyler about this because I know he loves trains, and it's something that he's definitely going to be checking out. But they have a trailer for the game that looks very cinematic, and this is the actual gameplay that you're going to be able to play in this. And if you like trains and you want a simulator, we've talked before about truck sims. We talked about flight sims, space sims, train sims. Actually look pretty good. What do you think?
It looks interesting, and I really do. Excuse me. I really do like trains.
Yeah.
I was born and raised, as a child in D.C., and my great grandmother used to take me on Amtrak all the time.
Oh wow.
Love Amtrak.
Right.
Just love it. But see, I've kind of gotten used to people like you who like flight sims.
Right.
I mean, I don't get it, but I mean, if you're happy sitting there and play, okay. A train sim is kind of going to be the same thing. You're sitting in the cab and you're kind of just running down the rail, and
yeah.
But
you could plan the routes, you could plan the sights to see, the stops to make, and that's the whole of the idea of a sim. You're going to have different situations, as in real life, similar to the Sims themselves that became very popular. Where you had to create a world, or they had a car simulator, and I can't remember what that one was, but that one was actually pretty good as well. So yeah, and you might want to take a look at that. Again, that's TrainSimWorld.com. And one more before we take a break here. If you're a gamer, Atari has got a brand new console, the 7800 console remake. Can actually play your Atari 2600 cartridges. So if you've got the old Atari cartridges sitting in a box somewhere and you want to play them, you can do that with the new 7800 console remake.
Do you know how much it costs?
Not sure. It's going to be out later on this year. I know it'll be cheap. From what I've heard, it will be cheaper than an Xbox or a PlayStation. But again, the fact that you could repurpose your old 2600 cartridges could be a lot of fun. Now, I bought a portable Atari player. And then I remembered how bad the graphics were compared to today's. And I'm like, well, okay, this is not that much fun. So I don't think about that before you go ahead and invest. Remember, the graphics could be a little different. All right, we can take another quick break. We'll come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
And I am Slick.
You can find us on X or Twitter at Tech Talk Radio.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
We still haven't figured out the name of the movie that we were thinking about from James Cameron.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What the heck?
Not going to happen this show.
Yeah. All right. Well, again. All right. So actually, we were talking during the break about new products that are coming out, and there are some new ones that you may want to know about. Slick, you got the rundown on a couple of those.
Okay, follow me if you will. Have pens and paper handy because this is gonna. We're just gonna kind of blaze through this a little bit because it's coming fast.
All right.
So Huawei, that's the company they spell it Huawei, and on a post on a Chinese X-like service or a Twitter-like service called Weibo. So they said they're going to hold a product launch event on September the 10th. It's really, I'm going to tell you about the U.S. time. Okay. So it's September the 10th in Beijing, September the 9th here in the United States,
Oh.
West Coast time
Uh-oh.
at 11:30 p.m.
That
Rumor has it
that
could be a
sounds like
triple screen phone.
a triple screen phone?
That's rumor. Yeah.
We don't get enough with two?
No, I don't.
Would you actually like a triple screen phone? Really?
Yeah. I've tried to double screen a large. Yeah, and then they work great for me because I can have one thing on one screen and one on the other.
Right. All right. So triple screen phone, Huawei. Again, it's spelled very strange. Of course, that'll be Android. That'll be the Android platform. I was thinking, though, is that time going to cut into Apple's big presentation, which is coming up this Monday? But no, it won't.
That is part of the point, apparently.
To have it kind of follow up and get press for their because honestly, Apple's going to be like we're thinking maybe a new Vision. We know the 16 probably going to be announced officially.
Yep.
So we'll have to see what Apple does. And again, that's coming up on Monday, so we'll be talking about that next week in the show. All right, what else?
I'm using the public beta of iOS 18.1.
You actually went for the beta? You're using it?
I have a spare device, so I put it on there, and it's okay. I mean, the one thing you were talking about that you really liked, I think it was it for the cards or security? It was something. When I say cards, I mean like credit cards or something.
Right.
You liked it. It's there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right. I'll have to. Yeah.
Maybe also Mac OS Sequoia, I think is how you pronounce it. iOS 18.
Right, and maybe a new M chip. I don't know.
I haven't heard.
Yeah.
That I have not heard about yet.
We're going to find out.
But also, what are they calling it? Where's the name? Apple Intelligence, their new AI that's going to wind up in the operating system for iPhones.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I've never been happy with Siri. Have you? I mean, look, she didn't even wake up when I said her name. But
no, I know a lot of people use it. I rarely use it. I really do.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't pull what I'm looking for.
Out of all of them, Siri, Bixby, there she finally woke up. The Alexa devices. What would you say is probably the best out of them?
For me right now, I've got that Google speaker. I don't remember what the model name of it, but I got the Google speaker, and it has been really good to me about getting me the information I was looking for.
I've had the best results with Google as well.
Yeah. And I thought about getting one with a screen, but the formats I didn't like. I do have that. Is I think Amazon Fire TV 15. I got one of those.
All right.
Because the screen size, and everybody save your money. It's not as big as I thought it was. I mean, you still have to be like kind of close to it, and it's it's kind of a fail.
All right. Now you have another product too, other than that one.
Well, we could talk about Android 15 real quick if you want.
All right, Android 15. What do you like?
That is coming up, and it's going to be available for Pixel 6 through 9 devices, as well as let's say Samsung, Honor, and all the other tech phones. Android open source project is out, so the beta, if you will, is available to developers. Some of the new useful features include partial screen recording. See what that is.
Partial.
Oh, they're catching up on this one though.
Right.
Satellite connectivity to send and receive messages without cell service. Who did that?
That was an Apple thing, wasn't it? Yes. Yes.
That was really nice too.
Yeah.
That was cool. Predictive back gesture, more in-app camera controls. Well, you might like that.
Yeah.
Low light boost and sensitive notifications for 2FA codes, two-factor authentication codes.
Nice. I do think we need better security on devices. Better security to protect them, the whole bit. So yeah, that'll be nice. Android for the Android devices. I know Justin was telling us about him getting the Pixel 9, and I'm thinking maybe it's time to go Pixel. Maybe it is. I've been Apple for a long time, and now I'm beginning to think maybe it's time. I don't know.
The one thing I like about Android is I can put on it. This is just a quick example, everybody. So I can install the Facebook app. But I can also install the Facebook Lite app right next to it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And, there are also other beta versions that you can install next on Android. You can install them next to it.
Right.
What I found in my experience on iPhone, on iOS is, you get the one app.
That's it. Yeah.
So.
Oh, boy. All right. You also had something on Bang & Olufsen. Is that how you pronounce it?
Bang & Olufsen, I love the equipment. The audio equipment is good. But so they got a new headset out, BOPlay H100, Advanced Dolby Atmos headphones, whatever that means. I haven't experienced it. I don't know if it's good. Titanium drivers.
Right.
Every purchase, this is what I'm excited about. Every purchase includes an exclusive leather pouch to protect and carry your headphones in style.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
And since my birthday is going to be Saturday, Andy, it's only going to run you about $1,500.
Perfect. Bang. Oh, my Lord. $1,500 for a pair of headphones.
I love you too.
Yeah. $1,500 for a pair of headphones. So some people maybe wonder, what headphones do you use now?
I haven't invested in. Usually, when I use headphones, I invest in radio-centric headphones for broadcast,
Right.
which I know are open. We use Sennheisers. Some of the Sonys have been good to us as well. Koss was good.
Oh, Koss, yeah. Koss Audio, yeah. They're good
Yeah.
too. The Sennheisers have been always a winner. Steel Series, I still think, even, maybe you would not use that for a broadcast.
I would.
However,
I have.
However, you could. Yeah.
When you got us headphones from Steel Series,
Thank you, Bruce.
and you got us various ones,
Right.
those had the best microphone. I loved using those for our shows.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It's interesting too, because I've been doing a program with on the reservations, Gila River reservations, on podcasting, and talking to middle school students and some older students about the possibilities of podcasting and how easy it can be, and showing them various technologies that were available. And I've taken the microphones that we have in the studio. I've taken a microphone that fine microphone that I bought at the bin store. But the ones that they liked the best were the headphone microphone combo.
Yeah.
They didn't want to talk into a microphone. It's a little, it can be a little intimidating. But to have a headphone, to have the microphone that pulls out from the headphone, like the new Steel Series or even the Logitech devices, they actually really liked.
Yeah, depending on the studio configuration that you and I are in at the time, depends on which microphone. I like a mic on a boom, the standard broadcast microphone. That is cool. However, if I need to move around to get the buttons on an equipment and, still, let's say, cue up a tape. Well, we used to cue up tapes and, just push a button on a machine over here or something. I need to be able to walk around that room with the headset on, the headphones on, with a mic on the headphones.
Absolutely. All right, another quick break. We come back. We've got more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
And I am Slick.
You can follow us on the Facebook, Tech Talkers. You'll find us there.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Hey, Bill Nye, the science guy here. Whenever I am listening to the radio, especially Tech Talk Radio, it's just such a party.
All right, Slick has got something cool to tell us about that you may want to try, and it all deals with Fire Stick.
Yeah,
but I hadn't heard about this.
Yeah, this is a replacement for a website of the week for this particular show.
All right.
So if you have, and follow me with this, if you have an Amazon Echo Show 10, okay, look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about.
I think I have one of those.
Yeah, with the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. And also an Amazon Echo Show 15, that's the big portable one that they have. And the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K Max. Let's just say that's the most expensive one they have, the stick, right?
Yep.
Then you have access to what's called the Fire TV Ambient Experience. Now, what that means is you can set up on your screen stuff for you to look at, like a weather forecast, a calendar. I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff on here. You get news headlines on there.
Wow.
You can set up notes. I have sticky notes.
Can you tell it Can you tell it which news headlines? If I want technology, entertainment, science, I can do that.
I don't remember if you can do the interface. I'm going to say no. I mean,
okay.
it might be possible, but I'm going to say off the top of my head no.
Okay. All right. And how easy is this to set up?
It's very easy. I mean, because you can do it through your Alexa app on your phone.
Right.
That's how you set it up. And then it sends the information over to the screens, whether it's on your show 10, your show 15, or that particular Fire Stick. Because I actually set up that Fire Stick for someone, and I was just amazed. I was very jealous.
Right.
Very jealous, because they have a large screen TV, and I mean, you can see it, you can read it from across the room. With these other screens, for me, I have to come up on it or put glasses on it or something. But it's great. I mean, if you have it like up in the bedroom,
right?
Let's say across from the bed, it's wonderful, man.
Oh, all right, cool. I like that. Where can we get more info about it?
Amazon.com. Just look at the most expensive Fire Stick. That's the easiest way to find it. It's the Fire TV 4K Max.
Perfect. And I'm going to say something. I'm going to say one word to you, Slick, that's going to make
Yes.
you go, that's it, that's it. Avatar.
Avatar. The movie?
That's the movie
That's
we've been
the
thinking
movie.
about.
Okay, yeah, all right.
All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show. You can find us on the World Wide Web at techtalkradio.com. Check out video for the show. Even though it goes out of focus once in a while, it's not us. It's you.
Yeah, it's my camera. I still got one of those cheap old USB, cameras. On my
We'll get you a
computer.
better camera. And early happy birthday to you, Slick.
Thank you. Send cash. No, it's a kid.
The headphones?
Oh yeah, 1,500. That's what we're starting at 150 right now. That's $1.50. That's all we got.
Perfect. All right. Have yourselves a great week. Again, find us at techtalkradio.com. Take care.